Just got a new tool for the garage. It's this shitty mini lathe mill combo machine. Picked it up for 350 bucks. Sold as is because it's in pretty rough shape. When I met the guy, this was in the back of his truck with just a tarp over it. And I have a feeling it was in there for a while and probably saw some rain, which explains kind of this rusting here. It's a 3-axis machine. So the Y-axis here, as soon as I picked it up, really nice shape, runs very smooth. With just a little bit of backlash, but to be honest, I would probably expect this much from a cheapo mill anyways. The X-axis here was almost like completely stuck. It was all full of grime, but luckily just cleaning that out and then adding some oil really freed it up. And this tailstock similarly was completely stuck until I cleaned it up and added some oil, and now it spins or moves pretty freely. And the Z-axis here, you can control coarsely for like a drilling operation, and if you engage that button, you have kind of coarse control as well as fine control with this dial once it engages. Oh, it's not in. There. So if you're actually using this for milling, you can use the dial to get, reasonably precise Z height. And then when you're using this in like the lathe mode, you can actually disengage this entire mill head and just swing it around, which is kind of cool. You could put a really big workpiece in there. And another cool thing about this is you can actually adjust the whole height of the machine, the mill machine, if you rotate this guy here. So if you're using it for the milling operations and you have a big workpiece in the vise, you can have a little bit more control, maybe like 3 more inches, you can raise the whole head. So that's pretty neat. And the X-axis here, I didn't show, has power feed. So when the motor's running, you can engage this lever and use that feed for cutting threads. And there's forward and reverse control, which applies to the cutting or the lathe and the mill head operations, but also for that screw. And then there's 2 speeds for it, low, high, and then, well, it doesn't want to engage into low right now, but you have neutral, low, and high speeds. It's all kind of like the speed is all fixed unless you can get in there and change pulleys. There's a handy little diagram here to show you what spindle speeds or what pulley and belt connections you need to make a certain spindle speed. But yeah, back here, if you want to run the lathe, you pull this chuck out, and then if you, or not chuck, what would this be, like a clutch? If you want to engage the lathe, you pull the clutch all the way out, and then if you want to engage the mill, you push it in. So if you run this now, I'll show you with the head off. If you run it now, the spindle runs, but the lathe isn't going. And if you pull that out, see, pull it out all the way, there's the lathe end. So, I mean, electrically, it runs perfect. Mechanically, it needs quite a bit of work. And cosmetically, there's probably a lot of cleanup to do. But I imagine at this price, it'll be a good project.